to tell you how much we appreciate these 2 fine days of weather for racing. Ask for a safe event for the rest of the afternoon, and ask a special blessing on the support staff that's here for FKCS. Pray for those corner workers out there too, Lord. That's a hard job also. We ask that you would watch over the drivers and their crew chiefs, and just allow them to be the best that they can be today for you. And we ask it in the name of Jesus. Amen.
And special thanks to Chaplain John Dunham with Racers for Christ. At this time, we'd ask you to continue to stand for the playing of our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let's go racing once again. Good afternoon as we're set to go for our finals. A special thanks to Chaplain John Dunham and his wife Sandy, and great folks over there at Racers for Christ. Really appreciate them spending some time with us here at Homestead Karting. And we are ready to rock and roll. Finals will be 16 laps, all classes except for Kid Cards. So Kid Cards will get us up first. You'll be followed by Rotex Micromax. So great wrap up for our kid kart driver. Owen Lloyd wraps it up. And that'll push us up now into our Rotex Micromax. That'll be Rotex Micromax. On the grid, pre-grid, we'll need Minimax. Again, we'll need Minimax drivers. You are pre-grid also. We'll need Rock Senior and a Rotex Senior. That'll be Rock Senior, Rotex Senior. What do you do to the grid? So Rotex Micromax going to make their way out. Here's how we'll line them up as they'll go 16 laps inside row 1. In the number 58, Sebastian Montoya. In the outside of row number 1, it'll be the 24 of Joe Nunez. Starting third to 95 of Lucas Rodriguez. Ryan Rackley in the number 30, starting fourth. Fifth, it'll be the 51 of Gabriel Ramirez. Jay Hubert in the number 29, starting sixth. Seventh, it'll be Cody Crooker in the number 27. Aston Chilton of 56, starting eighth. Logan Alexander in the number 22, starting ninth. 10th scheduled out will be Jeremy Fletcher in the number 308. So Rotex, Micromax making their way out. 16 laps. Minimax, you're now on the grid. Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, you are pre-grid. Yeah, and Humberto Peretta, your points leader, rolling into this weekend. Humberto, a winner at Orlando. Current points leader, Humberto, in that number 123. starting in the back end of the field. Joe Nunez starting this weekend 4th in the point standings. Pole sitter Sebastian Montoya making his first start in the Micromax this season. Montoya inside row number 1. Nunez to the outside. Couple drivers been racing together for a little while. And had an opportunity to talk to his mom, Joe Nunez's mom and grandma. Good little driver, Joe Nunez, outside row number 1 in the 24. Lucas Rodriguez, Lucas in the 95. 4th place finish in Orlando in race weekend number 2. Lucas starting 3rd. Ryan Rackley in the 30. Ryan's been on the podium 2 for 2 in the first 2 events. 2nd and 3rd place finishes for Ryan Rackley, 3rd in the point standings. And he'll start in row number 2 to the outside. Gabriel Ramirez coming in today, tied for 2nd in the point standings. Been a great start for Gabriel Ramirez. Gambia getting her first win at Monticello. What an exciting day. And probably just the beginning of a whole trail of wins for Gabriel Ramirez. 2nd in the point standings, tied with Ryan Rackley. Gabriel Ramirez. Gambia starting 5th. That'll be in row number 3. So Sebastian Montoya in the 58, Joe Nunez in the 24. And they'll crawl down the front stretch. Montoya on the inside. Nick going to look him over. No, I don't think he's going to go for that one. Absolutely not. No start. And you can see that, boy, they were picking up that speed coming to the line. So no start, no start. Again, give us some time to talk about some of our great class sponsors. Great folks up there in Jacksonville. Brad's Heating and Cooling. For all your heating and cooling needs, check them out. Brad'sHeatingandCooling.com. Special thanks to John Devine, Charlotte Devine, Devine Designs, all your silkscreen, embroidery. They got it all. Devine Designs. Also special thanks to Jerry Brown, the Holster Store. You can check it out online at theholsterstore.net. I want to thank Tony and everybody here at Homestead Karting, one of our class sponsors. Also, MonticelloKarting.com, North Florida Kart Club will be up there a little bit later this year. You can visit their website at nfkc.us. Andre in Orlando Kart Center at a great race, number 2 in Orlando. And again, a special thanks to RacetechDevelopment.com. Thanks to all of our class sponsors. As we're about ready to go, Rotex Micromax, Montoya Nunez, row number 1. Montoya in the red cart, inside row number 1. Nunez to the outside as they'll make their way off turn number 12. Nunez in the 24. Sebastian in the 58. Rodriguez Rackley, row number 2. Nice start as they come down again. No good, no good. And that may be a sign of trouble for that row number 1 of Montoya and Nunez. So we'll hold that row number 1. Montoya Nunez as they come off turn number 12. See what happens this time. Will the third time be the charm? Trying to get him to slow down. Now Nick Rickard going to let him go. He'll show him green as they'll make a mad dash into turn number 1. And it looks like Montoya will be your early leader. Gets off to a good start. Montoya into turn number 1 as he takes that freight train of traffic into turn number 3. Sebastian Montoya in the number 58. And Nunez is going to stay right there with your leader. And these two youngsters, Nunez and Sebastian Montoya, again, they've been racing together for a little while. Very familiar with each other as they get off to a good start here early on. 16-lap finals. They head off at turn number 12. And very wide as they come off turn number 12. And Montoya going to hold his own as they come into turn number 1. Nunez running second, Rackley third, Rodriguez, Gabriel Ramirez in the top 5, exactly where they qualified. Yeah, Lucas Rodriguez going to work now on Rackley. That'll be for that third place position. Man, look at this battle for third. You have got a ton of traffic coming off turn number 5. And right now it's the 30 machine of Ryan Rackley. Man, look at this pack of traffic in behind Rackley. There's only going to be one spot for that final position on the podium. And again, right now, Rackley holding on to that third spot. They'll work down into turn number 12. Great battle for third as they come off turn number 12. And Ryan Rackley with his hands full. Rodriguez in behind him. Now Rodriguez going to cross over as they head down into turn number 1. Top 2 drivers starting to break away. Montoya and Nunez. They come off turn 5. Now a little exchange now for that third place position. That'll be the 95 of Lucas Rodriguez trying to get away from that traffic. And Lucas now off at turn number 8 with about a kart length and a half advantage over Rackley as they head into turn number 10. Sebastian Montoya right now, he's got a 2.1 second lead over that pack of traffic way behind him. And again, that is Lucas Rodriguez trying to get away, holding on to that third spot. There's Rodriguez off turn number 12, and they are battling behind him. And Ashton Chilton gaining some ground. Gabriel Ramirez being scored in that fourth spot this time by. So Ramirez now being scored 4th. As your leaders continue to break away. And Gabby Ramirez doing an outstanding job sitting in that 4th place position. Remember, a winner at Monticello. Right now, Ramirez running in that 4th place position with a ton of traffic in behind Ramirez. Montoya, Nunez running nose to tail. Again, they know they got a lot of time to go in this race as long as Nunez stays right there with Montoya. 12 laps to go, just 4 laps in the books. And looking at some time, Sebastian Montoya, 53.317. Nunez, 53.351. So pretty close between those top 2 drivers. They continue to break away. Sebastian Montoya right now with a 3.8 second lead over third place running Lucas Rodriguez. So again, you're looking at 3.8 seconds back to third place running Rodriguez. And then you got Ramirez with a ton of traffic behind Gabby. Gabby going to lead that pack of traffic into turn number 9, learning a little bit of a different line. In behind her, Ashton Chilton. You've seen Ashton going into turn 8 a little bit higher into that darker area. But again, Ramirez holding on to 4th as your leaders come to the line. There's Montoya. Joe Nunez staying glued to your leader as they come off at turn number 1. Now some shuffling going to go on for position as they come down into turn number 1. That'll be Ashton Chilton. So Ashton Chilton with 11 laps to go picks up a spot. Now you got one getting wobbly. I believe that may have been Ramirez getting shuffled back. Your leader into turn 5, that is Montoya. Montoya about a 4 kart length advantage right now over Joe Nunez. Again, Nunez in the first 4 laps has pretty well stayed on the bumper of your leader. Montoya last lap, 53.076 for Montoya. Joe Nunez, 53.104 for Joe Nunez. Montoya is starting to get a little bit of distance now between him and Joe Nunez. About a half a second between your top two drivers. That'll be Ramirez shoved all the way back to the ninth position for Ramirez. Mini Max, you're on the grid. Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, your pre-grade. Again, Gabby trying to fight her way back, working on a couple drivers on the tail end of that field. Also, Ashton Chilton, the other driver that got together, shuffled back. Ashton Chilton was up there in the top 5. Move over sign going to come out for the 22 Logan. As your leader, Sebastian Montoya making the pass, gets around slower traffic. Going to bring Joe Nunez with him. There's your top two drivers on their way into turn number 4. 9 laps to go. And it has been the 58, Sebastian Montoya. Just dominating here and continue to break away from Joe Nunez. It's been a good day for Joe Nunez. Picked up quick time in qualifying. Starting second in the final here this afternoon and continue to try to run down Sebastian Montoya. And Montoya's got that baby dialed in, the 58 down into turn number 12. Settling into third, Lucas Rodriguez in the 95, the battle in behind him. Crooker, you got Poretta, Ryan Rackley all mixing it up as those drivers will pick up the halfway sign. So 8 down, 8 to go. It has been Sebastian Montoya, your one and only leader, started on the pole. Has led every single lap so far. Right now has an 0.8 of a second advantage over Joe Nunez, who started outside row number 1. Running third, Lucas Rodriguez. Lucas started third, got shuffled back, finally got that spot back, and has been untested. Right now, nobody around the 95 currently running in that third spot. Good little battle for that fourth place position. That'll be the 27. Tony Crooker in the 27, Alberto Poretta in the 123. Being scored 4th and 5th as they come off of turn number 10. 6th, Jade Hubert. 7th, Ryan Rackley. 8th, it's Ashton Chilton. 9th, it'll be Jeremy Fletcher. Ramirez being scored in the 10th spot. Logan in the 11th position. Mini Max, you're up next. Rotex Senior and Rock Senior, your pre-grid. So Ramirez is going to work around traffic. Man, that is a heated battle for that fourth place position. Cody Crooker along with Poretta, they continue to go nose to tail. It's like Cody's just pulling Umberto all around the track. And they continue to go nose to tail off of turn number 11. Good little race there. That's fourth place to 27 and to 123. 6 laps to go for your race leader, Sebastian Montoya. Right now, Sebastian opens up a 1.6 second advantage over Nunez. First 4 or 5 laps, Nunez kept the pace with your leader. But Sebastian now exits off turn number 5 with a commanding lead with 5.5 laps to go for your leader, Sebastian Montoya. Been a good run for Sebastian. Currently your leader. Mini Max, you're up next. Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, your pre-grade. Again, Montoya with a 52.753. Just came by with that one at lap number 11, 52.753. Not seeing a lot of drivers in that 52-second bracket. Matter of fact, just 2 drivers in the 52-second bracket. Again, Montoya 52.753. Lucas Rodriguez with a 52.915. Lucas right now running third, 6.7 seconds behind Montoya. Again, still a great race to 27. Tony Crooker in that 27 and Beretta in the 123 continue to go nose to tail. Boy, that's been going on the last 5 or 6 laps between those drivers battling for fourth. And Sebastian Montoya making his first start this season with the Florida Karting Championship Series. So 4 laps to go for Sebastian Montoya. Started on the pole, has led every single lap right now. 2.8 second advantage for Montoya. There's Montoya off turn number 6. And Montoya moving right along in the number 58. And Nunez running second. Lucas Rodriguez third. Going to get a good little race there for that 4 spot. The 27. Crooker along with Beretta in that number 123. As the laps continue to dwindle down here in your Rotex Micromax. Early challenge for Montoya. Yeah, there's the 123 again at Beretta. They continue to go back and forth. Cody in the 27, Umberto in the 123. And racing for that 4th place position. We'll get 2 to go for your leader, Montoya. Sees it up, 2 to go for Sebastian Montoya. Minimax, you're up next. It'll be Minimax. Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, your pre-grade. So here comes Montoya looking for that white flag. It's up, it's in the air. So Montoya, one more trip around for Sebastian Montoya. So Sebastian will come around for the final time. And Cody in that number 27 and Beretta. Boy, that's been a great little race here for 4th. Meantime, checker flag will drop for your winner as Montoya goes wire to wire. Great run for Nunez on the podium. And the 95 of Lucas Rodriguez will score that 3rd spot. How about the battle for 4th off turn 12 as they come to the line? And it'll go to Beretta in the 123, 4th, 5th. It'll be the 27. Cody will pick up that 5th place position. So Montoya wire to wire in your Micromax. Rotec Senior Rock Senior, you'll move them up to the top of the grid. Mini Rock, you will be pre-grid. Again, do have a couple carts to get picked up, and we'll get underway for your Mini Max 16-lap final. Making her way out, this will be your Rotex Mini Max. Inside row one on the pole position, the 105, that'll be Juan Jose Diaz. Outside the 18, Dylan Gennaro, row number two, the 57 of Tyler Gonzalez. Again, Dylan, a couple of top three finishes so far this season, third and second. Diaz picked up the win in Orlando. Last month, Diaz in the number 105, inside row number one. Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, you're on the grid. Mini Rock, you're pre-grid. Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, you're now on the grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Diaz in row number one in the 105. Dylan Gennaro in the 18. Gonzalez in the 57. Tyler Gonzalez making his second start with the Mini Max with the Florida Karting Championship Series. Tyler finishing fourth in Orlando in race weekend number 2. So they'll make their way into turn number 11. And 16 laps. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Here they come, row number one. Diaz and Dylan Gennaro. Diaz in a 105 inside of row number one. Nice and slow as they come to the start-finish line. Now Nick going to look him over. Slowly they come. They approach him. They're about ready to get on the gas, and it's out. We're underway. And Diaz going to bring Dylan right with him. Toes him into turn number 2. So into turn number 5 for the first time. We'll correct that. It'll be Tyler Gonzalez in that second spot. So Tyler quickly moving up into second as they head into turn number 8 for the first time. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Boy, Tyler Gonzalez coming out with a vengeance as he's working on your leader. Diaz off turn number 11. They're going to push him off turn number 12. They'll head to the line. Diaz, your leader. And Tyler Gonzalez staying right in the tire tracks, your leader off turn number 1. And Tyler Gonzalez trying to stuff it in. They're going to rub a little bit. And boys, you're early in this race. Haven't got around just one time. A little aggressive racing there. And then a little bit of warning coming out there as they enter turn number 10. Yeah, they got a long way to go. Now Tyler Gonzalez looking to the outside. He'll crisscross over, gets in behind your leader on the entry to turn 12. Boy, they are flying off at turn number 12. They'll go nose to tail into turn number 1, led by Diaz. Diaz going to hold his ground as they come off turn 1. Diaz off at turn number 2, your leader. Diaz with a 50.835. Tyler Gonzalez, 50.868. And Tyler Gonzalez driving the wheels off that 57, trying to hang with your race leader, Diaz. They'll exit off turn 8. A little wobbly there for Diaz as he comes off turn number 8. Now into turn number 11 as they come down that long straightaway. And Diaz. Again, tucking that head down. Again, Gonzalez going to stay right on his heels on to turn number 1. No change there, so they'll continue to go nose to tail. Early on, 13 laps in the books. 13 laps to go. 3 laps in the books. As your leaders exit off at turn number 4. And need Mini Rock, your pre-grid on the grid. Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, you're on the grid. Last lap time, Diaz with a 50.632. We'll see if he can pick it up here as they cross the line. So Diaz back in lap number 3, 50.632. Tyler Gonzalez with a 50.626. Both of those doing that in lap number 3. And Tyler staying all over your leaders. They exit off turn 4. Has really never backed off as they'll come into turn number 5. There's Diaz, exits off turn 5. And both drivers really pretty much running the same line. You kind of watch him, got a good look at him in turn number 8. As they'll exit off turn number 10. Again, Tyler Gonzalez, again, looking to the inside on the entry to turn number 12. Not going to be able to get enough momentum to carry him through that spot. And he'll tuck it in, puts the head down as they go back down into turn number 1. Really, Tyler Gonzalez in a very good spot right now as he continues to stay right there in pursuit of your leader, running the tire tracks of Juan Jose Diaz. Again, Dylan De right now. Dylan in that third spot, 51.156, back in lap number 5 for Dylan. And you got to wonder where Gonzalez is going to start to size things up and maybe try to find that opening, see if he can get that momentum to get around Diaz. Again, so trying to hunt that rabbit down up front is Juan Jose Diaz. Doing the hunting, that's Tyler Gonzalez in the 57. Again, looks to the inside as they come off turn number 12. And Gonzalez going to get right back in on your leader as they come into turn number 1. Tyler, again, had that lane open coming off turn 12. Held on to it just a little bit, realized it didn't have enough momentum down that front stretch, and he'll get right back in line. So it's single file Diaz and Gonzalez as they'll head into turn 5. pretty close time for both of these drivers. Diaz with a 50.632. 50.632 for Diaz. 50.626 for Gonzalez. So no doubt about it, pretty close, pretty even as they work off turn number 11. Last time by, Gonzalez tried to squeeze it in on the exit at turn number 12. Not this time, not going to happen. As they'll head to the line, continue to go nose to tail into turn number 1. No change as they'll come off turn number 1, nose to tail, led by Diaz. Again, trying to watch the spots, and you look at Gonzalez where he's able to try to set up Diaz, and right now has been off at turn number 12. Really haven't seen him try to make a move off any other turns right now as they go to work off turn number 5 again. Now he goes to the inside. Looks strong coming off turn 5. Talking about the 57 of Tyler Gonzalez. We'll see if he can pick his spot and try to make his way around your leader. Again, both drivers very quick off turn 10. They'll come off turn 11. Tyler Gonzalez been running second pretty much the entire race. They'll come into turn number 12. Again, a little bit wide for Diaz, but not able to leave enough lane open for Gonzalez. So we'll pick up the halfway point this time by. 8 down and 8 to go, and it's been one and only leader. Juan Diaz started on the pole. Running second, Tyler Gonzalez started third. Running third is Dylan Gennaro. So 8 down, 8 to go. It's been nose to tail so far the entire race. Couple times Gonzalez in that 57 took a shot at your leader, and that has been pretty much off turn 12. Now he goes to the inside off turn number 8. He'll make the pass. So there you go. He set him up as he worked his way into turn 7, and Tyler Gonzalez been digging and working on your leader. Finally gets the room and makes the pass right there at the top of turn number 8. And he'll pass him. So there's your brand new leader. Tyler Gonzalez gets around Juan Jose Diaz. Now we'll see if Tyler Gonzalez can break away off turn number 2. 3.328 not going to now it opens up a cart length advantage in turn 7. Rotex Senior Rock Senior, you're on the grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. So up front, moving right along, Tyler Gonzalez started third. Took him to the halfway point before he was able to make the pass on Juan Jose Diaz. As your leader exits off turn number 12, we'll head down the front stretch. 6 laps to go for your race leader, Tyler Gonzalez. Rotex Senior Rock Senior, you're on the grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. So Tyler Gonzalez now with a 1.7 second advantage over Juan Jose Diaz. Again, those two drivers battled out pretty well up to lap number 8 and then went right to the inside. Tyler Gonzalez got to the top of that turn number 8 and made the pass. And right now, 1.7 second advantage for Tyler Gonzalez. Again, traffic stretching out. Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, you're on the grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Yeah, those drivers, once you do conclude your racing, please be sure to return your transponders. Again, once you do wrap up your racing for the day, please return your transponders. So 3 laps to go as Tyler Gonzalez now with a 2.5 second advantage over Diaz. We'll get set for your Rock Senior. Rotex Senior, you'll be up next. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. Mini Rock, your pre-grid. So final 2 laps to go. Tyler Gonzalez, best lap time. He did that back in lap number 9 with a 50.328. Juan Jose Diaz, his best lap time, that came in lap number 8 at 50.504. Again, Diaz led half this race and then dropped back in behind Tyler Gonzalez. So next time by, we'll see the white flag. It'll be 1 to go next time by for Tyler Gonzalez. Tyler will head to the line, picks up the white flag. Well, up next, Rotex Senior, Rock Senior, get them ready. You're up next as we are on that white flag lap, final one for Tyler Gonzalez. So Tyler off of turn number 10. It'll run into turn number 11. He'll shoot down that long straightaway for the final time, and you can see him now as he kind of looks over, and he'll look up off the exit of turn number 12, and you will be the winner. Minimax winner goes to Tyler Gonzalez. Juan Jose Diaz second. Dylan Gennaro will pick up third. So there it is, your Minimax in the books. Tag Junior, Rock Junior. You want to bring them up? That'll be Tag Junior, Rock Junior. We're set to go. Rock Senior. Oliver Askew inside row number 1 in the number 238. Nick Neary in the number 16 outside row 1. Jonathan Kotick in the 57 will be starting third. Fourth, Franco Carabetta in the number 20 starting fourth. Fifth, it'll be the 32 of Austin Jordan. Kevin Mendes in the number 6, starting 6th. Kyle Kirkwood starting in the 7th spot in the number 2. Federico Carabetta in the number 62, starting 8th. Carlos Gonzalez scheduled to start 9th. And yesterday afternoon in the Rock Senior, Oliver Askew, your pole sitter today, looking for his second straight win. Kyle Kirkwood finished second yesterday. Kyle problems in the pre-final, got 5 laps in the pre-final. So Kyle Kirkwood starting in the 7th position, going to have his work cut out for him. See if he can get a second place finish or better today. Jonathan finishing 3rd on Saturday. Morgan Healy with a 4th place finish today. Nick Neri in the 16. And Morgan finished 4th on Saturday. Austin Jordan with a 5th place finish. Franco finishing 6th. Federico finishing 7th. So Oliver Askew looking for back-to-back wins in your Rock Senior. Can he keep it rolling? And scored the win by 9/10 of a second on Saturday. We'll see if anybody else will bring it to the table. Again, Nick Neri in the 16. That's in for Morgan Healy. Again, Morgan did run on Saturday. As I said, finished 4th on Saturday. So they'll make their way down that long straightaway, nice and slow. 16 laps. Again, this is your Rock Senior. Carlos Gonzalez in that 07. That is your Rotex Senior driver. Gonzalez on the tail end of that field in that Tony kart. Now they'll approach the start-finish line. Nick Rickard going to look him over, and no start. No start. Started to bring it up and decided, nope, didn't like what he saw, so they'll bring him around one more time. Mini Rock, you're up next. Mini Rock, you are on the grid. Mini Rock, you're on the grid. Field going to crawl into turn number 12. Again, Saturday's winner, Oliver Askew, on the pole position with Nick Neri to the outside as they come to the start-finish line. Neri in the 16, Oliver to 238. Trying to get him slow now. I think Nick likes what he sees, certainly does. Going to let him go. And they'll head into turn number 1. Oliver with the slight advantage side by side for that second spot. And they'll head into turn number 3. Nick Neri doing a little battle there, him and Jonathan, as they try to battle for that second spot. And trying to bring in your winner from yesterday, the 238 of Oliver Askew. Nick able to hold on to second. Jonathan third as they come off turn number 8. Oliver Askew going to take him down into turn number 1. There's your leader. Nick Neri running second. Jonathan third. Kyle moving up into that 4th spot, so starting 7th. Kyle Kirkwood has picked up 3 positions early on. Remember, he had a problem in that pre-final. Only got 5 laps in for Kyle Kirkwood. And right now, Kyle going to find himself right there in the mix of stuff as he pulls in right on the bumper of Jonathan off turn 5. So Kyle Kirkwood on a mission in that number 2. Mechanical problem dropped him out of that pre-final. He's going to work on Jonathan off turn 9. Top 4 drivers, they'll exit off turn number 11. They'll work their way into turn number 12, led by yesterday's winner. Oliver Askew will take them to the line. Neri running second, Jonathan third. Kyle Kirkwood in that 4th spot as they come into turn number 2. Running 5th, flying solo. Franco Carabetta in that number 20. Kyle Kirkwood just pulled a 45.999 for Kyle Kirkwood. A good run for Kyle, trying to get him in there as he works on Jonathan. Right ahead of Jonathan, Nick Neri in for the 16 of Morgan Healy. And then you got your overall leader, Oliver Askew. Oliver coming out of the gate very strong. Great start for Oliver Askew. Yeah, everybody tucking their head down. And obviously that wind's got to have a little bit of effect on these drivers. And seeing gust right around 25 miles an hour under partly cloudy skies. It's been really beautiful down here this weekend. We're working on the halfway point here of the season with the Florida Karting Championship Series. And we've seen some great racing. Started out in Monticello, race weekend number 1, coming off Orlando last month. Now working here in race weekend number 3. And seeing some good racing up here. Top 4 drivers. Oliver Askew, your pole sitter. Nick Neri started outside row 1, continues to hold on to that spot. Jonathan running third. Kyle Kirkwood, again, as I said, came from the 7th starting position. Didn't take him long to get to 4th, but boy, it's been kind of a stop there for him as he's still locked into that 4th place position. Has not really made a move on Jonathan at all, realizing they got plenty of time to go. 12 laps remaining, 16-lap final. Now he's going to make that move. Goes right to the inside on the entry to turn 4. Had that momentum coming off turn 3. Talking about Kyle Kirkwood now 3rd as he dives into turn number 5. So Kyle Kirkwood has picked up 4 spots since he originally dropped the green flag. And Kyle Kirkwood putting up some good times. 45.791 in lap number 4. And he's on the charge right now. 45.791. And that is overall quick time. So definitely got the quick card, Kyle Kirkwood. He's got the machine, but still got a ways to go. Kyle running 3rd, 0.8 of a second behind your race leader. And he'll go to work now on the 16 and Nick Neri. And Kyle very strong in that pre-final. Kyle Kirkwood finished 2nd yesterday and didn't have quick time in qualifying, so it's been a pretty good weekend for the 2 of Kyle Kirkwood. Again, he set fast time yesterday in qualifying, 2nd place run on the final. Right now, he's 0.8 of a second behind your leader. Going back to lap number 5, Nick Neri with a 45.849 for Nick Neri. Kyle Kirkwood, lap number 6, 45.695 for Kyle Kirkwood. Kyle 0.7 of a second behind your leader. And Kyle kind of locked up into that 3rd spot, but boy, he's chipped his way up into that 3rd place position. Again, you remember he started 7th after finishing off with just 5 laps in that pre-final. And he's moving right along, currently running in that 3rd spot, about 2 kart lanes behind Nick Neri on the entry to turn 12. And they'll continue that battle into turn number 1. Mini Rock, you're up next. You're on the grid. Tag Junior, Rock Junior, your pre-grid. So Oliver Askew moving right along. Oliver right now 7/10 of a second ahead of Nick Neary with 8 laps to go. We just crossed over the halfway point. And again, Oliver Askew started on that pole. He's on every single lap. Neary started outside row 1. And he's been in that second spot the entire race. Kyle Kirkwood running third, started 7th. Trying to do something with Nick Neary. Jonathan running 4th. Nick Neary with a 45.693 here in lap number 9. Kyle Kirkwood also putting up a good time. Kyle Kirkwood, 45.655. Again, 45.655 for Kyle Kirkwood. Mini Rock, you're up next. Mini Rock, you're on the grid. Pre-grid. Tag Junior, Rock Junior, your pre-grid. So moving right along, like it's something he's done in the past. Oliver Askew looking very solid. Oliver looking for back-to-back wins this weekend in the Rock Senior class. And he's right now dialed in, cruising right along. He opens up a good full second lead now over Neary. Neary running second. Kyle third, Jonathan fourth, Franco running in the 5th spot, Austin Jordan 6th, Carlos running 7th. That'll be your Rotex senior driver. Federico running in the 8th spot, Evan running 9th. So 2 to go. Oliver Askew holding on to a 1.2 second lead over Neary. Kyle running third, Jonathan fourth, Franco in the top 5. Kyle Kirkwood, Nick Neary going to duel it out now for that second spot. Great battle. In the meantime, here comes your leader. Down off of turn number 12 up front. As now it is a 2 of Kyle Kirkwood now second. So Kyle Kirkwood, a little rubbing there. Him and Nick Neary finally goes on the attack mode. It has been very quiet for those two drivers. And all of a sudden, Kyle Kirkwood, you woke him up. And he goes ahead and moves up into that second spot. Good little racing between those two drivers. As Oliver Askew checking out on the field. Here comes Jonathan now. Jonathan closing in on Nick Neary for that final podium position. See if he can get him as they come off of turn number 9. Jonathan gets on the bumper. Nick Neary, Nick going to separate a little bit. In the meantime, here comes Oliver. And he's going to look over his shoulder. Oliver, you're a back-to-back winner this weekend. There's your winner. Kyle going to come home second. Neary will pick up a podium finish. So some excitement here in the tail end of this event. Tag Junior, Rock Junior, you are on the grid. Tag Junior, Rock Junior, you are on the grid. So we're set to go. Your Mini Rock along with PRD Mini. Gianluca Petikoff in the 101. Inside row number 1. Outside, Kalen Frederick in the number 88. In row number 2, it'll be Jeremy Fairburn in the 87. Sebastian Montoya. Sebastian with a winner ready today in that 58. Starting 5th, the 188, Juan Jose Diaz. 6th, it'll be the 34, Ricardo Villasmil. Tyler Gonzalez in the 157, starting 7th. 8th, it'll be the 30, Ryan Rackley. Matt Heelan in the number 17, starting 9th. 10th, it'll be the 00 of Landon Kelly. Jet Nolan in the number 12 will be starting in the 11th spot. 12th, it'll be the 495 of Humberto Peretta. Gabby Ramirez in the 51, starting 13th. 14th, it'll be the 18 of Dylan Gennaro. PRD Mini driver Hunter Padilla in the number 3. Gianluca looking for back-to-back wins. Was your Mini Rock winner on Saturday. We just saw it in the senior class. So we'll see if 2 of these drivers go back-to-back both days as they'll come down that front stretch. No start, and there's no way they're going to start that one. Obviously way too quick on that outside lane. We'll send around one more time. Tag Junior, Rock Junior, you're on the grid. Masters, Tag Heavy. Rock Masters, Tag Masters, you're on the grid. Well, correct that. You're our pre-grid. Again, Tag Masters, Tag Heavy, Rock Masters, you're pre-grid. Tag Junior, Rock Junior, you are on the grid. So we'll short shoot them. 16 laps. Gianluca Petikoff in the number 101. Scored the win on Saturday. Kalen Frederick in that second position. Kalen finished second on Saturday. So we'll see if they can change it around a little bit. Gianluca very strong again yesterday as they come down that front stretch. 16 laps. Montoya, row number 2 to the outside. And they'll pick up the green as they head down into turn number 1. Looks like Gianluca going to get off to a good start as they come down into turn number 2. Montoya quickly jumps the spot, moves to 3rd. Now I want to see an exchange for that 4th spot. Again, they continue to move around. That looks like Diaz trying to gain some ground. Jeremy Fairburn in the 87, all mixing it up now as they come into turn 5 for the first time. Moving as they come off turn 5. That'll be Montoya in the top 5. So again, Montoya in the top 5. They'll work their way around for lap number 1. We'll correct that. It'll be Frederick in the 88 now in the top 3. So we'll sort them out as they come down off of turn number 12 for the first time. Man, they are moving as they come off turn number 12. So again, it'll be Petikoff, your leader, Jeremy Fairburn 2nd, Frederick 3rd, Villasmil running 4th, Montoya 5th. So off to a good start. Jeremy Fairburn started 3rd, picked up a quick spot, got around Kalen. They'll work their way off of turn number 5. Top 5 drivers pretty well buttoned up. Petikoff, Fairbairn, Frederick, Villasmil, and Montoya. And Sebastian, a winner earlier this afternoon, looking for second win here today. Montoya finished 6th on Saturday in your Mini Rock final. Right now, Montoya in the top 5, hanging on to the back end of that tail, or that lead group as they come down to the line. No change, 1-2. Petikoff and Jeremy Fairburn. They'll continue to keep that battle nose to tail off turn 1. Tag Junior, Rock Junior, you're on the grid. Tag Junior, Rock Junior, you're on the grid. They're buttoned up 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 5th as they come into turn number 10, single file. Villesmill in that 34 turned to 50.454 in that last lap. That's Villesmill keeping on that cart. That cart looking to try to gain some ground. Nobody going to get out of the line. Realize they got plenty of time as they go single file into turn number 2. Ricardo Villesmill in that 34 in behind Frederick in that 4th place position. Then you got Montoya running 5th. Here comes Juan Jose Diaz. Diaz sees the party ahead of him, going to join in on the tail end of that field. Meantime, in exchange for 2nd, as Kalen Frederick will get around Jeremy Fairburn off of turn number 8. Now you got one looping it around. Believe that may be Montoya. And your leader going to come off turn number 12. They'll head to the line. There's Petticoff. Frederick running 2nd. Fairburn running 3rd. Villesmill running 4th. Tyler Gonzalez now 5th. And again, that was Montoya. And that cart now back under power. So Sebastian gets it going. Going to find himself in a deep hole right now. In the meantime, they're going to shuffle him up for that 3rd spot. Jeremy Fairburn into number 87. Along with Villesmill as they continue to do battle. So Ricardo will move up into 3rd. Jeremy Fairburn going to drop back into that 4th place position. So good racing. Again, just 3 spots on the podium, and you got a good 5-cart battle for those 3 spots. And your leader, Petticoff, with some breathing room right now, heads to the line. 11 laps to go for Petticoff. Kalen Frederick running in that 2nd spot. Villesmill 3rd. Jeremy Fairburn and Tyler Gonzalez, your top 5. So again, 11 laps to go as your leader continue to hold on to that top position. Again, that'll be Petticoff. Holding on to 2nd. Frederick in that number 88. Again, Kalen, he finished 2nd on Saturday. And right now, this could be an instant replay what they did on Saturday. Remember, Petticoff was your winner in the Mini Rock on Saturday. Kalen Frederick finished in that 2nd spot. And they'll cross the line. 10 laps to go. 6 laps in the books. Kevin Mender, please return your transponder. The number 26 Road Tech senior driver. Kevin, please return your transponder to scales. Again, this is a reminder, all drivers must be sure to return your transponder once you wrap up your racing for the day. So got a good one. 3 carts going to battle for that 2nd and 3rd position on the podium as your leader starts to break away with a 1.5 second advantage. Frederick Villesmill and Jeremy Fairburn. Got 3 drivers going to battle for those 2nd and 3rd spot on the podium. Ricardo's been very strong. Ricardo with a 50.445 in lap 6. So keep it on Ricardo right now. That is one of your quicker ones. And that may not mean anything because Jeremy Fairburn says, I don't care what kind of lap you got. I'm just going to make a pass. And that'll be Tyler Gonzalez again in there behind Jeremy. So they'll move around for position. Ricardo also on the move in that number 34. So right now, Jeremy moves up to 3rd. Ricardo will drop back to 4th. Again, Ricardo having a very good lap number 6 with a 50.445. But he's got Jeremy Fairburn in that 3rd spot right now as they'll come off. So we'll pick up halfway this time by. As again, 3-cart battle for those 2 spots on the podium as they come down into turn number 1. So 8 laps in, 8 to go, your leader. Gianluca Petticoff holding on to the top spot, started on the poles on every single lap. Running 2nd, Kalen Frederick started outside row 1, did backpedal, got that spot back. Running 3rd, Jeremy Fairburn. Jeremy in that number 87 started 3rd and got shuffled back. Now sits in that 3rd spot. Running 4th is Villas Mill in the 34. Gonzalez running 5th. Humberto Peretta running 6th. Diaz running 7th. Rackley 8th. Dylan Gennaro 9th. PRD mini driver Matt Heelan running in the 10th spot. Landon Kelly 11th. Ramirez 13th. Montoya in that 14th spot. 15th it'll be Jet Nolan. So just over the halfway point, have a good three-cart battle led by Kalen Frederick in that second place position on the entry to turn number 8. Jeremy Fairburn in the 87's Villas Mill in the 34. So good racing. Second, third, and fourth all buttoned up. Good racing. 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. How about that? Juan Jose Diaz, Rackley, Dylan Gennaro. Also, you can throw in the PRD mini driver, Matt Heelan, all mixing up 7th on back. That's some good racing. Those drivers now going to cross the line. I don't like the shot. Jeremy Fairbairn right now has been running very well, sitting back in that 3rd spot. Again, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. They're very tight on the entry to turn number 5. Frederick, Fairbairn, and Villas Mills, they head off at turn number 6. Jeremy Fairbairn on the Saturday was 7th place finish in the final. So he ran pretty solid, got a top 10 finish on Saturday. Right now, he's in contention for a podium finish. As Jeremy being scored in that 3rd spot as they'll come into turn number 12, led by the 101 of Petikoff. And Petikoff with a good size lead right now over Kalen Frederick. As your leader comes into turn number 7. Right around 2 seconds, going to separate first and second. Now in exchange again is Jeremy Fairburn going back and forth with Villas Mill. Villas Mill kind of got a run on him. Now he's going to get that spot away. Went crisscrossed a little bit in turn number 8. So now Ricardo Villas Mill now 3rd as they come into turn number 12. So Villas Mill to 34 will move up into that 3rd place position, trying to get onto that podium again as they come down into turn number 1. Good racing between those 3 drivers, Fairbairn, Frederick, and Villas Mill. Right now, Ricardo holding on to that 3rd and final spot on the podium. As they come off turn number 5. Man, hard coming off. That is Fairbairn. Man, almost bought into the barriers off the exit at turn 6. Jeremy really hard into turn 5. You know he'd love to get that podium. Now he's going to see that separation. Breaking away now. Ricardo going to work now on Kalen Frederick, trying to put the 87 of Fairbairn in behind him. Now we'll see if he can go to work on that 2nd place card. Again, looking for back-to-back finishes, 2nd for Kalen Frederick. Kalen finished 2nd on Saturday. And Villas Mill last time by 50.344. Petikoff with a 2.3 second lead over Frederick. And Kayla trying to break away from Ricardo as they start to watch Jeremy Fairbairn now fade back with 2 to go. Got to hand it for Ricardo. He really dug hard. Still got 2 more circuits to go. As your leader, Gianluca Petikoff holding on to the top position, jumped out to that early lead and challenged early, but continued to walk away with it right now. He's got a 2.2 second advantage. And your leader off turn 5. Tyler Gonzalez in a 157, currently being scored in the 5th position. So a couple top 5 finishes this weekend in the mini rock class for Tyler Gonzalez. Tyler finished 3rd on Saturday. Right now in the top 5 as he's got one more to go. And Jeremy Fairburn going to button it up now as he pulls right on the bumper of second place running. Kalen Federick on the entry to turn number 3. We'll see if Jeremy can muscle up that second spot on the podium as they go to work. Your leader coming off turn 5. And Villasville trying to get to the inside. Now a little crisscross move. It goes to the inside. He's got the spot. Here they come now into turn number 10. Going to the inside is Federick. Right back at it for second. So Villasville briefly had second. In the meantime, your winner coming in. Petikoff will score the win. Goes wire to wire the battle for second. Here comes Kalen Frederick. Will back it up again. 2 days in a row finishes second. And a great run coming home third is Ricardo Villasmill. So a good run for Ricardo. Jeremy Fairburn, a solid top 5 finish for Jeremy. Good run for Jeremy. Tyler Gonzalez 5th, Dylan Gennaro 6th, Diaz 7th, Heelan in your PRD mini finishes 8th overall, Peretta 9th, Rackley 10th, Landon Kelly 11th, Montoya 12th, Ramirez 13th, Nolan 14th, Padilla did finish in the 15th spot. Tag Masters, Tag Heavy, Rock Masters, you are on the grid. Perella Senior, your pre-grid. That'll be Perella Senior, you are pre-grid. So hot laps underway. This will be your Tag Junior class. Tag Junior class. Along with Rock Junior, here's how we'll line them up. Tag Junior driver Christian Muniz in the number 92 on the pole. Outside the 7 of Devin Bowerman. In row 2, the 14 of Seve DePinto. Vincenzo Saraceno in the 0-1 starting 4th. Rock Junior driver Matias Ramirez starting 5th overall. Tag Junior driver the 3 of Chris Maxim starting 6th. Mayo Livingston 234 starting in the 7th spot. Austin Garrison, Rock Jr., he'll be starting in the 8th spot. Marcus Peterson starting 9th in the 23. Chase Acklam in the number 201 starting 10th. Yeah, Tag Masters, Tag Heavy, Rock Masters, you're on the grid. Pre-grid, Perella Senior. 16 laps. Rock Jr. and Tag Jr. as they come off turn number 12. Nunez in the number 92. Bowerman in the number 7. Again, Devin Bowerman way ahead of the field. And Kristen Nunez in that number 92. He'll set the pace. A little short shoot him, bring him around. Tag Masters, Tag Heavy Rock Masters, you're on the grid. Perella Sr., you're pre-grid. And Devin Bowerman kind of looks up and sees, hey, where'd the rest of the field go? Then he gets on the gas. They short shoot him. Devin again outside row number 1. There's Bowerman now waiting for the field. Christian Nunez will set the pace. So race director will come out there and have a word with Devin Bowerman. We'll send him around one more time. A little talking to these drivers in your Tag Junior. Gotta believe that 92, Christian Nunez, a little bit slow. So they'll short shoot him, get him lined up. 16 laps. So the 92 should be setting the pace. It's not like this is the first time these guys been out here. As they got to get it going. And obviously now they'll crawl down. Nick going to look him over, going to show him green, and we do get it underway. Muniz going to shoot to the front. David Bowerman will move on into that second spot. So they'll cycle around lap number 1. Muniz, your leader. Seve DePinto going to pick up into that third spot right where he started. So he'll stay in third as they come off of turn number 2. Single file down into turn number 3. Muniz again picking up the win in the pre-final. And Seve DePinto coming in this weekend as your points leader. Seve right now on the track, sitting in that third place position. There's Seve coming across the line. Seve with a win at Monticello, second last month in Orlando. Saraceno in that number 01, second in the point standings. Saraceno, a winner in Orlando. Again, race leader Christian Muniz, again, making his first start with the Florida Karting Championship Series in the Tag Junior class. Running with us over the weekend. Again, right now, that is your race leader. Mayo Livingston into 234. Started 7th today. He's 6th in the point standings. Had a 4th place finish so far. His best run at Monticello in race weekend number 1 for Mayo Livingston. And Christian Muniz in lap number 3 turned a 46.288 for your leader, 46.288. Bowerman 46.564, best lap time for Bowerman. Seve with a 46.484, so pretty good. Seve right there in the mix of things, holding on to that third place position. Good tight racing. That'll be 4th and 5th as they come to the line. A little bit of an exchange for position. That'll be Saraceno working around Ramirez again. Don't forget Ramirez, Rock Junior driver. Saraceno, Tag Junior driver, as they came to the line. Again, 2 separate classes between those 2 drivers. Yeah, Ramirez, maybe a little surprise there. As Saraceno went to work on Ramirez. Ramirez now really driving hard. You see him jumping up on those curbs. Again, Ramirez, he is your Rock Junior leader. Ramirez in the 151. Rock Junior leader Ramirez. Right now, Ramirez 5th overall. So 11 laps remaining. Nunez continue to hold on to that top spot. Christian Muniz in the number 92. Now we're going to see exchange for that second spot. Seve got to try to get around in that 7 of Devin Bowerman. Briefly had it. Seve going to wash out to the outside off turn 5 and going to gather it up. And Seve had that little bit of an advantage coming off turn 4. And Seve now going to have to try to dig himself right back into that battle for second. Muniz, your leader. Bowerman second. Seve running third. Saraceno 4th. Ramirez, your leader in the Rock Junior class. Vincenzo Saraceno, lap number 6. He had a 46.305. 46.305 for Saraceno, being scored 4th in the Tag Junior class. And Saraceno 4th. He's got your Rock Junior leader, Matias Ramirez, in the 151 in behind him. Nine laps to go. Coming up next, it'll be Tag Masters, Tag Heavy, and Rock Masters. You're next. Perella Senior, you are pre-grid. Perella Senior, you are pre-grid. So we'll see if Seve can dig himself back into that second place position. There's Seve off turn number 6 in the 14. Saraceno running 4th in the 01. 5th in the Tag Junior class, it'll be Mayo Livingston. 6th, it'll be Maxim. 7th, Acklam in the number 201. And then Marcus Peterson into 23. So 8 laps in, 8 to go. Halfway leader. Christian Muniz in the number 92. Right now has a 2.1 second advantage. Started on the pole. running second, Devin Bowerman. And Devin started outside row number 1. Continued to hold on to that second place position. Briefly lost it to the 14 of Seve, then fought himself right back in the second. Seve DePinto running third. That's where he started. Saraceno being scored in the 4th spot. Saraceno started in that 4th place position. Right now running 4th. Saraceno 4.5 seconds behind your leader. Matias Ramirez, your Rock Jr. leader. Austin Garrison running second, Rock Jr. So 7 laps remaining, moving right along. Christian Munez in the number 92. Carries a 2.4 second advantage over Devin Bowerman. And on a Tony kart, Christian Munez in the 92, cruising right along. Bowerman second, Seve running third, Saraceno running 4th. 5th, it'll be Mayo Livingston. Mayo in the top 5. So we're looking at our possibly third different winner this season in the Tag Junior. So how about that? Again, Munez making his first start this season with the Florida Karting Championship Series. Again, winners so far this season, Saraceno and Seve DePinto. So we are looking possibly at our third different winners so far, but still ways to go. As we have 6 laps to go for your race leader, Christian Munez in the number 92. Christian right across the line. Devin Bowerman running second. Seve running third. Seve a pretty good lap with a 46.195. 46.195 on the 14 of Seve DePinto. Pretty good lap there for Seve. Right here in lap number 11 for Seve DePinto. Currently running third. Seve 3.5 seconds behind your leader. And Saraceno. Got to wash out a little bit. It's not going to affect his position as Saraceno is still running 4th in the Tag Junior class. So you got a little wide. That lets your Rock Junior leader come by. Ramirez taking advantage of that. But again, Saraceno still holding 4th in the Tag Junior class. But again, Ramirez, Rock Junior leader. Saraceno, Tag Junior. Currently running 4th for Saraceno. So thankfully that will not affect Saraceno as far as his finishing order. And 2 separate classes. Ramirez in the Rock Junior class. Tag Junior driver. Saraceno in the 0-on. So not going to affect him. It's been a good season so far for Saraceno. Said picked up a win a month ago. Right now sitting in the top 5 position. So laps ticking away. Next time by, we'll see 2 to go. And Nick's got double sticks. 2 to go. Christian Munez looking to go wire to wire. He'll head into turn number 1 with a 3-second advantage over Devin Bowerman. Meantime, Ramirez will scoot up a spot. Again, heartbreak for Seve DePinto. Something let go on that card. So Seve will drop to the bottom of the list. He was right there for yet another podium finish. So Seve going to bail out of the 14 right there off of turn number 11. So tough break for Seve DePinto. Was looking for his 3rd straight podium. Not going to get it here today. As that will now put Saraceno in the third spot in the tag junior. White flag up for Munez as Kristen comes down the front stretch. 1 to go for your race leader. Saraceno will keep his streak of 3 in a row going on the podium if he hangs in one more time around. So Munez off turn number 5 for the final time. Heads into turn number 8. Look at Saraceno really working that wheel. Man, that car not handling the way it did early on. You see Saraceno really struggling through the turns. Kristen Munez will pick up the win, goes wire to wire. Bowerman coming home second. Your winner, Rock Jr., goes to Ramirez, and there's Saraceno on the podium for Saraceno. Perella Sr., you're on the grid. That'll be Perella Sr., you're on the grid. So Tag Master Scott Roberts, it's been money, looking for 3 in a row. Back-to-back wins in race number 1 and race number 2. Roberts in the 628 on the pole. Brad Sanders, 2 back-to-back finishes. Brad in the number 12. Mark Thomas in the 86 starting 3rd. 4th, it'll be the Ford, George Metcalf. David Evans in the 77 starting 5th. Starting 6th, the 600 of Jerry Brown. Tag heavy driver Jim Glitch in the number 9 starting 7th. Michael Sachs in the number 11 starting 8th. Perella Sr., you're on the grid. Perella Sr., you're on the grid. Again, please be sure your drivers do return their transponders once we do conclude your racing for the day. And those drivers' top 3 finishes fast time, we will have podium awards. It will take place once we do conclude all racing. So again, if you have a top 3 fast time in qualifying, Scott Roberts in row number 1, looking for his 3rd straight win of the season. And be sure to go to the website, FLWKSprintSeries.com. Keep up with all the results, all the schedule, and everything you need to know as we're set to go. Green flag up for Tag Masters. No big surprise, Scott Roberts. He has been money so far this season in the Tag Masters. As I said, back-to-back winner. And he's dialed in right now as he'll lead the field into turn number 8 with Brad Sanders running 2nd. George Metcalf looks like he's going to pick up a spot. And don't forget, race weekend number 4 will move on up to Ocala. That'll be June 7th and 8th, Ocala Grand Prix. That'll be race weekend number 4 right here with the Florida Karting Championship Series. As working out our second to last event here this afternoon, Tag Masters. And right now, Scott Roberts, he's been the man. And Scott, back-to-back wins. Picked up the win opening weekend at Monticello. Backed it up last month in Orlando. Brad Sanders, he's been the bridesmaid 2 times in a row, and he's right now in that 2nd spot. Back-to-back second-place finishes for Brad Sanders. Kevin Coy not in the field today. He starts this weekend 3rd in the point standings, but Kevin will drop some ground there. Jerry Brown looks like he'll be able to gain some ground. Jerry 5th in the point standings. Jerry, a 6th and a 7th place finish in the first 2 events for Jerry Brown. Michael Sachs making his 2nd start of the season. Raced with us up in Monticello. Did not race in Orlando. Michael coming off an 8th place finish in Monticello on race weekend number 1 for Michael Sachs. Michael right now being scored in the 9th spot. So Scott Roberts moving right along. He'll cross the line. It'll be 13 laps to go. 3 laps in the books. There's Scott Roberts. Scott with a 47.527. Just 2 drivers in that 47 bracket. William Isaias in the number 320. 47.047. That's the 320. So good lap number 3 for that 320 of William. Brad Sanders with a 48.217 in lap number 3 for Brad Sanders. And Brad now going to find himself dropping back into that 3rd place position as Isaias will move up around him. So William now 2nd, Brad Sanders back to 3rd. Here comes your leader off turn number 12. Well in command already. Boy, not wasting any time, Scott Roberts. Yeah, and only seen it a couple times where a driver's been able to sweep all races. And Scott Roberts, if he can hold his ground for a little while longer today, he'll be halfway there. Need Perella Sr., you're on the grid. Perella Sr., you're on the grid. Once again, reminder, please be sure your drivers do return their transponders once they do conclude their racing for the day. Got some pretty good racing coming off of turn number 12. That's George Metcalf, and then behind him is a 77 of Evans. Then you got Jerry Brown. Aguayo in the 357. Some good racing. Those drivers now into turn number 2. And they're going to kind of bump up a little bit. They tighten them up coming off turn number 2. David Evans, Jerry Brown, and Aguayo. That'll be 5th, 6th, and 7th as they'll head into that turn number 5. Man, George Metcalf going to start to feel the footsteps because here comes David Evans in the 77. That'll be for 4th place. Metcalf with a flock of traffic in behind him as he comes off turn number 10. George has got David Evans, Jerry Brown, Aguayo, and Mark Thomas all in behind him. Good racing as they come into turn number 12. It's getting hot and heavy here toward the back end of the field as they cross the line. 6 laps in, 10 to go. That's your big racing going on right now into turn number 2. But up front, Scott Roberts moving right along. 2.4 second advantage for Scott Roberts. Isaiah's running second. Brad Sanders runs third. Then you got that heavy traffic in behind 4th running George Metcalf. There's George off turn number 5. He's under the gun. Here comes David Evans. Yeah, and that battle for 4th place, you got a ton of traffic trying to work around George Metcalf. George hitting his marks, doing an outstanding job as he keeps David Evans in behind him. David Evans with a 49.040. Lap ago for David Evans, and he continues to hold on to that 5th place position, working on George Metcalf. And George really putting up his dukes and having a great run for George Metcalf. But again, checking out on the field up front, heading into turn number 10. 6:28 of Scott Roberts. Scott with a 2.2 second lead. William Isaiah's making his first start of the season in the Tag Masters class. So we'll pick up the halfway sign here at 8 down, 8 to go. Off the pole position, Scott Roberts. He's led every single lap. William Isaiah's running second. William coming from the back of the field started 9th, and right now he's running second, 2.1 seconds behind your leader. Brad Sanders started outside row 1, running 3rd. George Metcalf 4th. David Evans 5th. Mark Thomas 6th. Jerry Brown 7th. Aguayo running 8th. Michael Sachs running 9th. Jim Glitch, your tag heavy drivers, being scored 10th overall. Right now, William Isaiah's with a 47.039. That has been his quick lap. Didn't lap 7. We'll see if he can close up that gap at all. 1.89 seconds between Scott Roberts and second running William Isaiah. So actually, William has shaved off about 0.4 of a second on that last lap. So keep an eye. We may have something brewing here for that lead. Yeah, Brad Sanders running 3rd, trying to pick himself up yet a 3rd straight podium. And nobody around Brad, just cruising right along. George Metcalf, what a run for George. Holding off behind him. That'll be the 77 of David Evans. Again, 1.3 second lead now for Scott Roberts. Scott, you may have company sneaking up on you. And again, William closing up that gap. It has been a Sunday ride, literally, for your race leader, Scott Roberts. And he's got Isaiah's coming up on him. 1.3 seconds. William digging hard, driving it hard into turn 5. Meantime, George Metcalf, little breathing room now between him and David Evans. That's for 4th. David Ice, now he's got your leader in sight. We'll see if he'll shave a little bit more off that gap. Your leader off turn number 11. Perella Sr., you're up next. 5 laps to go. This time by, there's your leader into turn 1. 1.1 second advantage now for Scott Roberts. 5 laps remaining. Gotta wonder if it'll be enough time for William to bring in your race leader. So Isaiah's cruising right along, trying to reel in your leader. And Scott Roberts, so good, knows this track, and again, a very good driver, a lot of experience. Both of these guys, a lot of laps under their belt, know how to get it done. And Scott Roberts looking for his 3rd straight victory. There's a guy behind him in that 320. May have something else to say about it as they come off turn number 12. They'll head to the line. 9/10 of a second now going to separate first and second. So William is definitely closing in on your leader. It's 9/10 of a second. So here comes your leader, Scott Roberts. He'll work his way off turn number 12. 3 laps remaining as they head down into turn number 1. Again, Williams still about 9/10 of a second behind your leader. Check it in on George Metcalf, comfortably holding on to that 4th place position. Boy, George putting up a great fight there, holding on to 4th. He was under the gun quite a few times with David Evans in that 77. Mark Thomas, Jerry Brown, all mixing it up as they try to bring in Metcalf. They'll work down into turn number 1. So here comes Scott Roberts. Scott, he's going to pick it up. 2 to go next time by. Oh, there it is, Scott Roberts. 2 to go this time by. And William about 7/10 of a second behind Scott Roberts. Young man trying to dig it hard as he tries to reel in your race leader. So the rest of the field will pick up 2 to go this time by. So Robert, your leader. William running 2nd. Sanders 3rd. George Metcalf running 4th. And Nick will show him white flag. And here he comes, Scott Roberts. Scott, you got to do it one more, buddy. Here he goes. Final circuit for Scott Roberts. Jerry Brown going to move in around the 86. He works around Mark Thomas. That'll put Jerry 6th. Good run for Jerry Brown. So Scott Roberts looks like he's comfortable. Got it all dialed in. Comes off turn number 8. And he'll head into turn number 10 for the final time. Scott Roberts into turn number 11. He got it in hand. Scott Roberts looking to seal the deal. This will be 3 in a row in your Tag Masters. Here he comes for the 3rd time in a row. Scott Roberts, your winner. Unofficially, the 320. Isaiah will pick up 2nd, 3rd. Brad Sanders now coming off of turn number 11. Brad, again, a 3rd straight podium. Good run for Brad Sanders. So Brad will lock up yet another podium. George Metcalf, he's been digging hard. How about George? Great run for George Metcalf. He'll come home in that 4th spot. 5th, it'll be David Evans. So great run. So Scott Roberts, your winner. Isaiah 2nd. Sanders comes home 3rd. So again, a little change in the finishing order. Scott Roberts will be your winner. Disqualified will be the 320 and the 357, again, due to underage. Again, that'll be the 320. So here's your official finishing order. Scott Roberts, your winner. Brad Sanders, second. George Metcalf will get on the podium. David Evans, fourth. Jerry Brown, fifth. So there it is, your Tag Masters. Again, Jim Glitch picking up the win in the Tag Heavy. So there it is. So final group to come out. This will be Perella Sr. Here's how we'll line them up. Got the brothers on row number 1. Tyler Smith in the 18. Aaron Smith in the 17. In row 2, Zach Banks in the 28-0. Corinne Olsen Hodges. Starting 5th, the 555, Hunter Olsen Hodges. Matt Blair starting 6th. Mike Andrews Jr. scheduled out in the 7th spot. Again, special thanks to Tony and everybody here at Homestead Karting. Want to appreciate their staff as we work our way through race weekend number 3. As always, special thanks to our FKCS President, Eddie De Niro, Vice President Brad Sanders, Treasurer Tammy Barnes, George Metcalf, 2-cycle junior and senior, Randy Ballmer in the 4-cycle senior and junior, of course, Nick Rickert, flagger, and of course, special thanks to Nick Wild, our race director, Kyle Rickert in timing and scoring. Also, everybody on scales helping us out. Want to thank everybody putting this together here as we work in race weekend number 3. Charlotte De Niro, also want to thank her helping us out. Keeping things flowing again. Appreciate all their help. Appreciate you racers making it here as we work our way through race weekend number 3. So Nick Rickert will look them over as they come down the front stretch. Yeah, brothers in row number 1. We've seen that a lot. Green is out. We're underway as they'll make their way into turn number 1. Tyler Smith in the 18, and he'll be your early leader. Brother got to get dropped back into that 3rd spot. That'll be Zach Banks in the number 28, moving up in the 2nd. So Zach Banks now 2nd. Aaron Smith back to 3rd. And don't forget, we'll move on to the second half of the season. We'll be in Ocala. That'll be June 7th and 8th. That'll be race weekend number 4 in Ocala. Race weekend 7 and 8. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. We move up to the center part of the state coming up June 7th and June 8th. So right now, Tyler Smith, your leader. Zach Banks running 2nd. Aaron Smith 3rd. Grant Olsen Hodges running 4th. 5th, it'll be Hunter. And Matt Blair running in the 6th spot. Again, please be sure your drivers do return their transponders. Once you do, wrap it up. your racing for the day. We'll have podium awards. Again, those drivers' top 3 finishes, fast time. Again, that is fast qualifying time from this morning. We'll have trophy presentations that will take place right behind timing and scoring. So, again, if you have a top 3 finish fast time, we'll try to get you in and out once all classes have cleared. We'll get you on your way and get back on the road as we roll out of race weekend number 3 right here at Homestead Karting. Been a great weekend. Weather-wise, it has been beautiful. Obviously seeing some gusty winds, but it's been really nice here as we come to a conclusion in race weekend number 3. Meantime, up front, Zach Banks trying to work on your leader. Tyler Smith coming off a win in the pre-final, still being challenged in turn 5. Boy, Zach Banks really got it going, got to get it into the inside. Gets right on the bumper of your leader, so that card on the move, Zach Banks. In lap 3, Zach with a 47.246. 47.246 for Zach Banks. Well, I'll tell you right now, Zach Banks is just staying right there with Tyler Smith. And Zach kind of peeking to the inside on the entry to turn number 2. That car continued to weave and bob, trying to work around Smith as he works him now, gets to the inside. A little bit of a drag race again. Smith overpowers him as they get into turn 5, and he'll hold on to the lead. It's a pesky little driver, Zach Banks, as he goes to work again to the inside. Tell you right now, Zach Banks is going to try every angle he possibly can in every spot to try to make a move. Not waiting for that one area as he continues to try to work on your leader, Tyler Smith. Aaron Smith with a 47.210 on lap number 5. That's your third place cart. Right now, Aaron Smith running third, 0.8 of a second behind your leader. Now, trying to get around him again. Watching Zach Banks, that may cost him a little bit because here comes Aaron Smith right there on the back end of Zach Banks. And here again, the 17 trying to get to the inside, Aaron Smith. Aaron trying to take advantage of that bobble by Zach Banks, but unable to cash in on this one, as he'll say, in that third place position. So it looks like it'll settle down as they exit off turn number 11. About a 3-car length advantage for Tyler as he comes off at turn 12. He'll head to the line. 9 laps to go. Be closing in on the halfway point next time by. So 9 laps in. All led by the 18-year pole sitter, Tyler Smith. And looking at some of their times, Tyler Smith leader, 47.290. Zach Banks with a 47.246. Aaron Smith running third, 47.010. Halfway this time by. So it's 8 down, 8 to go. Outside of Aaron Smith and Zach Banks flip-flopping early on. Pretty much the same running order as they started. Tyler Smith, your leader. Zach Banks running second. Aaron Smith third. Grant Olson Hodges fourth. Fifth, it'll be Matt Blair. Sixth, it'll be Hunter Olson Hodges. So 8 down, 8 to go is your race leader, Tyler Smith. He's been tested a couple times from Zach Banks. Zach tried to get him a couple times. We'll see if he'll get it dialed in. Got plenty of time. 8 laps to go. Georgia driver Tyler Smith, along with his brother Aaron. Did a lot of racing up there in the 103rd Street complex up there in Jacksonville for both of those drivers. And they'll head down into turn number 1. Still nose to tail. Tyler Smith, Zach Banks, and Aaron Smith. Now Zach going to go right back to work. Gets right on the bumper of your leader on the entry to turn number 3. They are nose to tail. Top 2 cars as they come off turn 4. Here comes Aaron Smith. Aaron trying to make a shot and trying to get around. Banks goes into the inside. Going to have to back out of it. So right in the middle of this Smith sandwich, it's Zach Banks running second. Twin brothers, Tyler up front, Aaron running third. Six laps to go as they head to the line. This one going to come down, I'm sure, to that last lap. See if Zach Banks can get anything going on there or Tyler Smith. And they continue to tighten them up on the exit of turn number 4. No change. About a kart length and a half advantage for your leader, Tyler Smith. He'll carry that off at turn number 7 into turn number 8. Still about 2 kart lengths for your race leader. Now going to button it up as they come to the entry at turn number 9. Zach Banks going to run the tire tracks, your leader. Little run into turn number 11. As they'll exit off turn 11, single file. Top 3 drivers heading it down into turn number 12. Led by the 18 of Tyler Smith. 5 laps to go this time by. And Zach Banks looking pretty good on the entry to turn number 3. Stays right there on your leader. And don't want to whip it out too wide again as Tyler really brought it out high coming off of turn number 5. And Tyler Smith going to be challenged off of turn number 10. There's your top 3 drivers, Tyler Smith, Zach Banks, Aaron Smith. They'll carry that battle into turn number 12. Nice exit for Tyler Smith as they head down into turn number 1. 4 laps to go. Yeah, Zach Banks almost got it in there again off of turn number 2. Got to give this youngster an A for effort. He is trying to any angle he possibly can. And a couple times there, it may have cost him second, but he's going to try to get that lead away. In the meantime, here comes Aaron Smith. He'll slide to the inside. So now you got the Smith brothers 1-2. Tyler in the 18. Aaron in the number 17 as they head into turn number 10. So there you go. Prime example. You bring it out a little wide off of turn 5. And Aaron Smith sized it up just perfect. Seen the room and is able to make the pass. And just 3 laps to go this time by. So Tyler Smith looking to go wire to wire. Got his brother Aaron Smith in that second place position. Next time by, they'll see 2 to go. Pretty comfortable now for your leader, Tyler Smith. Tyler coming into turn number 12. He'll come off turn 12. Nick going to show him 2 to go this time by. That'll be the 555. Hunter Olsen Hodge is going to park it along the front stretch as they'll cycle around for the final time, all led by the 18 of Tyler Smith. Boy, Tyler looking to go wire to wire, and he was challenged early on by Zach Banks. And they'll come down. Now we'll see if his brother will go to work on him. Aaron trying to get on him as they come off turn 12. Cannot make a mistake. And they head to the line, and he goes wire to wire. Aaron Smith will score the win. Well, correct that. Tyler Smith gets the win. Aaron second. Zach Banks third. So it's Tyler, Aaron, and Zach as they wrap it up.